Buongiorno, buonasera, benvenuti amici. Welcome, my friends. My name is Vincenzo, and welcome to my channel, Fountain Pen Therapy. Today, we're going to review a pen from an Indian manufacturer, which boasts that it is a luxury pen maker. We have several Indian pen makers in the pen community, in the fountain pen community. Some produce products that are, far from being luxury pens, and others are very well priced but excellent quality. For example, we have Ranga, we have Lotus, and we have Vizier that have decent pens at very, very low prices. Of course, Ranga with their ebonite and acrylic pens, nothing luxurious, but very, very well done. And then you have Lotus, which is it's got some pens that are at the luxury point of the spectrum, if you will. And then you have a company by the name of Magna Carta, and I've purchased one of their pens and decided that I provide you with a review. I think it's a beautiful pen. I have not tried it in terms of a writing sample, so you and I will see what this pen does for the first time during my writing sample. So without further ado, stay tuned. Okay, so here's the box. Actually, the box comes in. The packaging is in this box, which I gotta admit is not the prettiest box. The quality is not up to scratch. I mean, take a look at it. It looks like somebody did a papier-mâché project. But you know what? This, I think, is just there to protect what is the real packaging, if you will. So, you can forgive that. Other pen makers would just provide this. So, and this one, is up to scratch. It gives you some of the specifications. Mag 800 Castleton. That's the color. It's a blue silver pen, as we shall see. Well, silverish color, if you will. Now, one of the things, you remove the paper sleeve. Then there is the box. Here is the pen. The pen comes with a international warranty card. We take out the pen, get rid of the box, and let's see what this pen has to offer. Okay, so first of all, what strikes me, the first thing that I noticed about this pen is that I seriously thought that this would have been ebonite. Very polished very, very nicely. And I said, what a beautiful ebonite swirl here. But apparently it's not ebonite, it's resin. And it's the first type of resin that I've seen that really, really looks like ebonite, I must tell you. But no, it's resin. Here it is. It's a nice kind of you get a combination of colors there. Gray, black, blue, green, some cream yellow in there. That's one of the things that I noticed, and this is the second time it happens to me. The color here is pretty uniform, and then when I turn it, see that black spot on that part of the cap, and contrast with the finial. Now, I know that these resin pens, they come out the way they come out. They're all different, and you take what you got. But this is the second time I buy a pen, and I find that just the way they've mixed that resin, it's not the prettiest. Does that explain why this pen was on sale? I don't know. But I got to tell you, we can't blame this Indian pen maker, because the other pen that I had, it was a Leonardo Officina Italiana, and a Supernova, and I had the same issues. So maybe it's just the way it is. I just find it, this is nice. When you look at it, you know, it's pretty uniform. Then you turn it around. That's good so far. And then all of a sudden you get kind of like a black patch there, which contrasts enormously with this finial. You see the finial is fine until we turn it around and compared to that black patch. Anyway, okay, let's move on because the pen has much nicer qualities than that. The two finials are kind of rounded but not pointy at all. Nice clip, eye drop clip, very functional in my view. Very nice, simple design. Okay, and let's just see how many turns. 1 turn, 2 turns, 2.5, 3 turns. So 3.25 turns. So there's lots of turns there. Okay, to reveal what I think is, hope anyway, is the gem of this pen. First of all, broad. And there's that big Magna Carta giant number 8 nib. I am really looking forward to writing with this pen. As I mentioned, or I may not have mentioned it earlier, but I've decided to go on a binge, I like to use that word, of broad nibs because I realized that these broad nibs are a lot more practical on cheap paper than some of my favorite stubs, which sometimes are more italic than cursive and kind of scratched cheap paper. But, you know, with a broad nib, you can get that thick line that I like. A little bit less feathering than you would and a little, certainly a lot less scratching that I would get with a cursive 1.1 or even an italic 1.1 stub. So there you have the nib. Beautiful. I'm not sure if that's ebonite. I will put it up on the screen if it is. I meant to research that and I forgot, but it will be on the screen when this video is published. That section is nice and big. It's got some length to it. It's not a short section. There's a nice silver ring. There is a step up, but the threading is very smooth and not intrusive. We see that on the barrel there is the Magna Carta name that's engraved therein, which is always a very nice touch. Would have been nice if they would have added M800 to just make that complete, but no such thing. There you have it. Very, very nice. Does it post? It's a big pen, by the way. Does it post? Let me just... no, it doesn't. You see, it doesn't post. But the pen is huge, so it's fine. And, well, at least for me, I don't post my pens, so there you have it. That cap, let's take a look in the cap to see. Just 1 second. I'm looking for my my flashlight. Let's just see if it has a... Yes, it does. There's a little bit of a step there. It's difficult to see, but yes, there is a step there that would give us that. Oh, that step is way down there, though. I'm not sure. Put it this way, between, well, it's a long section. It's a long section, but there is a step there, but it's further down the barrel, if you will. So there you go. That's it. Nice thick resin, by the way. Very nice and thick. So that's nice. Which reminds me, let's turn on another light just to see how this pen fares with a little additional light. Ah, there you go. Oh, now you get to see the colors even better. And you get to see my black spot even better. So there you have it. It is a cartridge converter pen. It's, you know, resin on resin. I would imagine that this can be eye dropped as well. Very, very, very nice thick resin. That explains a little bit of weight in the pen. There you have a Schmidt converter. Okay, we'll close that up. So that completes the review of the design and features of this pen. We'll do some size comparison, measurements, and writing sample. Be right back. Okay, here's the size comparison. I decided to compare it to some other pens made in India. This is my Ranga Splendor Torpedo in that beautiful acrylic. This is a Ranga 8WB. It's the new. It's a new Model 8, if you will, with that new Ranga clip. This is the Vizier. You can see the name there with the black acrylic. Next is the subject pen. This is another Magna Carta. This is the Motions, I believe. Kind of a translucent or transparent resin there. And this is another Ranga. This is the Ranga Abhimanyu Grand. So this is the larger version. And there you have the pen. You can see the pen is a nice size. And, you know, most of these pens, other than the Emotion, are fairly large pens. So you can see that it fares really, really well. I love the size of that pen. And here are the pens uncapped and unposted. And I wanted to compare, just to show you, compare it to this. This is a Bach number 8 size nib in titanium. And you can see that the Magna is even larger than the Bach 8. This is a Vizier. Take a look at that nib. That nib is beautifully engraved. It's a special nib that I ordered, made by Vizier. Wonderful engraving on that nib. And there you have the rest of the pens. But it's a giant nib. Very nice. Looking forward to writing with it. I'm not going to bother, obviously, with the posting comparison because the pen doesn't post. So we'll proceed. I'll put up on the screen the measurements screen and then the writing sample. Okay, as far as the writing sample, first the ink. The ink I will use will be this Faber-Castell Deep Sea Green. Very nice bottle, very nice ink that I think is going to do very well with this pen. Let me show you a swatch of the ink. There it is. It's a combination, in fact, that I think will fit really well. It's got that little bit of green, that sea green, as they call it. It's kind of on the bluish side, and it's got some, sheen. So I'm looking forward to it. I think this will be a nice match. We'll see how it performs in the writing sample. So that is the ink. The notebook I will be using, or the paper, is the Aerofil paper. These are loose sheets that I recently discovered. Very nice, by Sake Tipi. Very nice paper, which I think rivals very well with Tomo River. There you have it. I think you can buy 100 sheets on grid on Amazon or even other paper specialty stores, if you will. Okay, let me just zoom in a little more so we can get the full picture of the writing sample. There we have it. Okay, so this is the, wow, very nice, Magna Carta Mag 800, and the color is referred to as Castleton. The nib is a Magna Carta steel number 8 broad. The ink Faber-Castell. Does Castell have two L's? Yes, it does. Whoop, I'm sorry. Yes, it does. Faber-Castell, deep sea green. And folks, this nib is just a joy to write with. First of all, in terms of wetness, very, very wet. And this ink is kind of, it goes down thick, but it kind of dries up real quick. So to get that kind of, as you could see, it dries up really quickly, but you know, it's very, very wet. There's just a touch of skipping right at this, you see at the beginning of every stroke, but nothing serious in my view. And it may be just the way I'm holding the pen, but otherwise, you know, once you get going, you know, the pen writes really nicely. Here we go. As you can see, you can hardly hear the feedback. Is, you know, again, as we refer to, it's a pencil lead feedback sort of thing. So it's very, you see, again, every time I start, there's a little bit of not a hard start, but it could be the ink or the way I'm holding the pen. It's very smooth. Very wet. And fairly constant. Once you get going with the pen, that's not the issue. It's like when you stop writing with it and then you start, there's just that little bit of hesitation. You can see it on the I here, a little bit on the B here. See the P. Now, is it the ink that has some shading in it? Perhaps. But there's just that little bit of hesitation, I would say, but very little. Likes, and again, it could be just the way I'm holding the pen. One viewer told me, you got to be careful because I have a tendency to hold my pen a little bit on the side and I'm not getting the full tip of that nib on the paper, and it could, you know, it could just you know, give you the wrong impression, so to speak. And I've got to admit, it's got to be the ink, because the ink, it has that kind of shading. So you know, if it's light at top here, it's not because the ink is not going down, it's just the shading of the ink. So in terms of likes, I would say the design, the material, the build quality of this pen, and the nib, for sure, which in my view is 10 on 10. Okay. Dislikes, some quality control, I guess, on that cap that's giving me that dark spot. I just can't get it out of my head. At one point I thought I would return it. I think I purchased this on Pen Chalet. You know, look at the difference. But you know what? I decided that's the way it is. Okay, so I'm keeping it. In terms of value, I believe that this pen was going for $150, $160 US, but I will put the where I got it and the price up on screen so that you will have that. The value is good. I think is good. You know, you can buy a Navlar at the same price. You can buy a Benu at the same price. So it's not overpriced, I would say. You know, for that, just that nib, you know, is worth the purchase. So there you have it. Very nice pen. I think I'm going to enjoy that nib, and I'm going to try it with another ink that doesn't have as much shading, if you will, because it might very well make a big difference. So I think we've got another winner here, folks. Another winner. So I hope you enjoyed this review. I'm not sure when this review will go up and be published at this point in time, but it probably will go up somewhere in the holiday period. So if it's before Christmas, have a Merry Christmas. If it's after Christmas, happy holidays nonetheless, and have a wonderful new year. Stay well, be safe, enjoy your pens. Ciao.